Hello, human realm. This is Edric Blight. Em and Mittens can't be here right now. They're off eating nail polish or color coding their hairbrushes or whatever it is girls do. So I guess I'll be doing the introduction myself. Probably for the best. They probably would have ruined it anyway. So, here we go. Welcome, everyone, to the Owl House Hootie Awards, the only award show where human fans gush about their favorite show to an obnoxious degree. Your hosts, Crowned Cryptid, deBuggy, Tipsy, Tulip, and Chan will be ranking aspects from the Owl House Season 1 in various categories, such as Best Episode, Worst Episode, Best Character, and much, much more. And if I don't win Best Character, I swear I am going to send a Slither Beast after these hosts. Anyway, so, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show started!
Alright, hang on. Good.
What?
Is that not getting picked up?
No.
A bit.
That was
I'm
perfect.
excited.
It was just like quiet. And, okay, go.
There you go.
Oh.
Alright. This is gonna be too loud.
My God.
Did you do this?
Welcome to the first ever Hootie Awards, where my co-host and I will begin to It's too loud. It's too loud. It's too loud. Okay.
Try again.
Welcome to the first ever Hootie Awards, where my co-host and I will be giving various awards to our favorite and least favorite things from Owl House Season 1. There are 10 categories that will be awarded. If a certain thing gets the same award from a majority of hosts, then it is the true award winner. Now, hang on, this is also important. Unfortunately, I am legally required to run some commercial breaks during this program. I apologize.
No.
So let's hear from our first sponsor. Fishing. Go to the beach with your son and catch some fish, and then kill them and eat them. Okay, there we go. All right. First award is don't look.
I'm not looking.
Is favorite episode. So, favorite episode. Who's first?
Ooh, I'll go. My favourite episode was the pre-finale, Agony of a Witch. The one where... yeah, you too, is it?
Me too.
So the one where Ida fights Lilith and gets captured by the Emperor.
Yes.
That is also my favorite. So
That is the best one.
Well, then that's the majority winner, I guess. But that is not my favorite. Is it not
we
Tulip's
know.
favorite either?
We know. We know, Nick.
I'll just talk about for a moment why this is my favourite. I thought that the pacing on this episode was really on point, that it did a good job keeping me invested in the entire thing. It didn't meander with multiple plot points like the show usually does. It wasn't chock full of jokes, but that's okay because it was a serious episode and it took itself seriously, and the fight between just the emotions that were rolling around in that episode between Liz and Ida looking out for each other, and the reveal that Lilith going down really low, stooping really low, kidnapping Luz, and it turns out that she cursed Ida, and that scene at the end just broke my heart. You know the one, don't you?
Yes.
So it's always like painful to the heart when like the snarky character has like a moment of being. Well, that's the thing about that scene in particular when Ida was like angry and not like cracking jokes. It's like we've never seen her like that, so that makes that scene like crazy. But also like, you know, those classic scenes where like the snarky character or like the comic relief has like a I'm gonna die moment where they're like, wink, tell a joke, I'm dead. Or not really a joke, but she's just like, I don't think I can bounce back from this one, kid. Like sort of making it.
That was such a good line.
Yeah.
Should we move on to Dom and Tulip explaining their favourite episode, or do you want me to do the runner-up first?
I definitely had the same one, so I don't need to explain mine. I think Tulip has a different answer.
I have a different answer. So, of course, I love Agony of a Witch. I think we all give that episode a 10. But I didn't put it down as my favorite episode, because when I'm thinking about favorite episode, I'm thinking about one that I would probably, like, go back and rewatch. And Agony of a Witch is, like, part of the season finale, and not only that, it's, like, the first half of it, so it's kind of not even the whole story. But if I'm just going to watch any episode, if I'm going to feel like rewatching an Owl House episode, it's not going to be the season finale, probably. I put down Enchanting Gromfright.
I sort of took that same approach, like, thinking about mine, too. Even, like, thinking about the ratings back when we watched them, too, I thought more, like, as an individual, like, piece, rather than, like, the finale, as much as you guys like it came off to me very exposition-y, and just, like, it's so attached to the lore of the show that, like, I would only watch that on, like, a special occasion if I'm rewatching the show or something.
Yeah, so Enchanting Gromfright, it has that really big moment in it with the really cool dance animation.
Yep.
And, it's just a fun time. It's a bomb episode. It's, like, big, but not too big.
How about Nick? What's your winner?
My winner is... We know what it is. It's what's it called? Lost in Language, right? What it's called, the library episode.
Yes.
I just think it's so good. Like,
I agree.
The way it kickstarts Amity's character to make her more interesting and to start developing her shyness and stuff, like, a little bit. Her siblings in that episode are so much fun, and they're not like generic. The episode sets itself up like it's gonna be like, oh, Luz is gonna like be a mean teen prankster to fit in, but like it really doesn't do that kind of thing, like, at all.
Do you remember the jokes in the episode? Because I'm trying to remember, but there were some really funny jokes in the episode, and I can't remember any of them.
Well, I'm trying to remember right now. Like, there was that montage at the beginning of them kind of causing mischief. I remember that being hysterical, but I can't remember exactly what happened during it.
I mean, also all the books, like the way they did all the books coming to life and how they interacted with them was really cool.
Yeah, the concept, turning a library into a really amazing action set piece, was fantastic. So I love that episode a lot, and I would rewatch it a million times.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
And my runner-up was Grom.
My runner-up was Lost in Language. So
Whoa!
Wow.
You two have clicked.
Reversed.
Oh my god.
Which one's Lost in Language again?
the
The
library.
library episode.
Oh. It was between that and Adventures in the Elements, because I thought they both did a really good job at world building, especially with magic, and the library had...
Hey, my runner-up was also Adventures in the Elements. We have
Ooh.
Tipsy and I have an identical category there.
It's a fight for the silver medal at the moment.
That was almost my runner-up, but I kind of, again, thinking of that same sort of approach, what would I rewatch more? I thought of Grom.
You know what's funny? When you said that, I almost wanted to switch mine. Like, I'm not going to, because in terms of like how much I was invested and enjoyed it, Agony of a Witch is still my favorite. But
it's all up to you, however you want to.
My favorite to
think of it.
rewatch would probably be Adventures in the Elements, because I think the first 5 minutes of that episode is like just like joke after joke, and none of them are bad. They're all so funny, but also like it's such a good episode otherwise. Like, oh my god. So
For me, my runner-up was in between Lost in the Elements. Is that the
Adventures
title?
in the Elements.
I mixed Lost in
I know.
Languages and Adventures in Elements. Okay. For me, runner-up was between Adventures in the Elements and Understanding Willow, but I ended up choosing Understanding Willow, because damn, was that a good episode.
You know, I didn't even consider that one, but you're right. I think I still like Grom better than that one, but that's probably my third choice.
Yeah, Understanding
Probably
Willow for me
too.
was such a solid episode pacing-wise, and like how they handled the characters, especially like the best payoff, which is Willow just saying like, oh, we're not friends yet, but you know, we're gonna try. Like, that's such a good way to end an episode, and not just, yes, we forgive each other 100%, we're friends now, yay. I think it's amazing, and Amity was amazing in that episode, and Scary Willow was amazing in that episode. So yeah.
Oh,
good
she was
episode.
great. Give me more Scary Willow. I need her to be terrifying more often, because Amity isn't terrifying anymore. So you have an opening there.
You know, I was also giving consideration to that sports episode. Like, I really like that one. Like, with Gay Panic Amity, and like, it was really good and funny. And like, I was like, really? The sports one? Am I going to put that one above? And I didn't. You know, of course, it was
Yeah.
Grom and Lost in Language for me. But like, I do like that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite, like, non-explicitly, like, lore-focused episode.
So what wins in runner-up? Is it...
I wasn't even thinking about that, so, like, I don't know, we gotta figure it out right now. Yeah, whatever. It's just for us to have more things to talk about.
Under info, it says please rate episode title and number, and I wrote no.
That's okay.
Thank you.
So then, the winner of
Okay.
favorite episode is Agony of a Witch.
Yes, rightfully
Yes.
so.
It's so loud.
All right, our next award is least favorite episode, but before that, we got another word from our sponsor.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
Thank you, fast food. All of them. Every fast food. Thank you.
Thank you! I love it!
I love you.
I love you, fast food. Thank you, thank you. Alright, sorry. That one really hit close to home, so...
Now, back to the show. Least favorite episode. Who's Dom? Say yours first.
Oh, mine is a bit controversial.
Oh no!
Actually, no. It's not. It's not more.
You didn't copy the script. You just didn't take what I wrote in the script.
What? What? What did you?
Award shows aren't real. You're not supposed to have opinions.
It's not more controversial than what? Excuse me?
I was gonna say it's not more controversial than Tipsy liking Once Upon a Swap.
Once upon a what?
A
Sorry.
swap.
The swap-
Once
the
upon
body
a
swap
swap.
episode.
Oh,
The
yeah, the
body
body
swap.
swap episode. I enjoyed that. I thought it served its purpose. so I
No,
gave
we're
it a
not
high score.
talking about why that's good because
Okay.
that's my runner-up for worst.
Hey, me too!
What is your worst, Dom?
So my least favorite episode is the first day because of how disappointed I was. So I feel like it's controversial because it was a good episode, but like the payoff was like the worst. Like I think that's the episode that got me the most disappointed and aggravated because I hate the reason for why Luz is now multi-track. That's bullshit, and you can talk to my lawyer if you have any problems with me.
Like, maybe...
That's not fucking
Yeah, maybe that's
controversial. That's my least
controversial in
favourite.
the, like, my favorite episodes are the worst episode fandom or something. Like,
Okay. Alright.
that's
yeah.
also my
Alright.
least favorite episode on here.
I'm glad I'm
That's
validated.
also my least favorite episode.
Whoa! I thought I was. Oh my god!
Well, it's just like everything about it, I was excited about it, but then like every single story beat, I was like, why are you doing this? Every single time. The reason the detention folks got mad, the reason the principal decided to just be like, who cares about the rules? I have done wrong. Like, all of it.
It's like, oh, so you were really concerned about being thrown into the dead-end detention track before you found out we actually break the rules? Well, fuck you, get out!
And then the really cool monster, the Greater Basilisk, it was like, hello, I'm here to inspect. I'm like, okay, now there's a...
I like the monster.
No, I love the...
It distracted
no,
me from
I love the
that terrible
monster. It
plot.
was just underutilized. Like, why did you
Yeah,
put
what
it
a
in there?
waste of such a cool
That's
monster.
what I mean. I almost put that as my... Not to get ahead of myself, but I almost put that as my favorite, like, monster in the show. Because I thought, like, in terms of, like,
Me
its
too.
design and its voice and the way
Yep,
it moved,
yep.
it was really cool. But I couldn't get myself to do it because of that. Just the context.
Yep.
Anyway.
How about you, Nick? Why is it your least favorite?
It's the only episode that like completely just bored me too. Like not aside from like
Oh.
her reason being like her reason for joining all the tracks was kind of lame, but just like something about it just like didn't get me into it like at all, and I don't really know why. Like maybe I'd rewatch it just to see like why was I so disinterested, but like it's one that I kind of don't care to look back at it. Just like the monster was awesome.
I've talked before about how I don't hate that episode as much as you guys do, and I completely disagree that it's boring. I think it has some really interesting stuff in it. My least favorite episode is Once Upon a Swap, which for me was completely
Yeah.
boring and had nothing of value.
That was my runner-up. Oh my god. I'm surprised I didn't put Once Upon a Swap on my winner, but it's because the first day aggravated me more. But Once Upon a Swap, bad episode. Bad.
I mean, the first day was funny. I'll give it that. Like, we can't forget we laughed our asses off during it, even if it was awful in every other regard.
I also have Once Upon a Swap as my runner-up. I think the reason why
I
my winner
also
was
do.
First Day is because, like, you're like, the first day, I can't wait for that episode. She's gonna finally start going to Hexside. This is gonna be a great episode, and then it just isn't.
Well, I just was going to change the topic a little bit to say that my runner-up worst is the second episode, which is Before Wizards.
Damn.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, it wasn't it was, I thought it was good. I enjoyed that episode.
Why is that your runner-up?
It kind of like what Nick was just saying. I was just like, I couldn't pay attention to it, like when we watched it together. I don't remember what it was like when I watched it the first time, but like, well, when I was first experiencing the show, I was, it came right after the first episode, which I also wasn't too hot on, so I was like, I don't know, it being the second episode, it's just like, the show isn't good yet. It also raises questions like, do wizards, cause I think outside of that episode, they never say the word wizard, like all magic users are called witches, so like, what was that about?
You're making me think about that now, because, I mean, it's weird that it never showed up again, but wizards do exist in the Owl House world, and Ida was really suspicious of the
Ida
wizard
doesn't like wizards, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So maybe wizards do it.
I felt the opposite about that episode. Like, when I first watched the show and I got to that episode, I was like, oh, it's getting better. I really like where this is going. Because I liked how it made fun of all, like, the quest tropes. And, like, I liked the dialogue. It was really funny. I thought the monster had a cool design, even if he did basically nothing. It's just, like...
I was considering putting down that guy. What was his name? The wizard who was a monster?
Just, like, Puppet Master, I guess? I don't know.
I didn't, but I was gonna put him down for, like, least favorite character. Because, like, he gets cool at the end, but until then, he's just, like... such a stock kind of, I mean, all the adventure, I mean, that's the point, I guess, is that it's parodying adventuring characters, but, like, it just did not grab me.
Does anyone else have a different runner-up?
Yes, so I liked the second episode more than the first episode, and more than episode 6, Hootie's Moving Castle.
Yeah, I knew you'd pick that.
Now,
Hey! That's a good episode!
this was the first one I gave a very low score. Not only was the pacing so weird, jumping between the two plots where not much was happening, I couldn't pay attention to it. I also got really pissed off because of, it has, what's her name, Barsha. It's her introductory episode. So it has her and the bitchy girls doing magic in some house, and they can't actually do magic because their friendships are too superficial, apparently. And then you have Luz and Willow and Gus, who are the protagonist trio, who somehow do some incredible magic, and I was just, it's so on the nose. I was like...
I can't argue with that at all. Like, it's true.
Yeah, it was on the nose, but I still liked
I know, I'm with you, Dom.
It's so petty, though. It's so petty. It's like I warmed up to Bosher a little bit in the later episodes, but it's really petty. It's like, ooh, I hate the bitchy girls at my school, and I want to rant about them by writing this episode where I prove all of the bitchy girls are just superficial people, and I antagonize children against each other because I haven't been socialized properly.
Wow, sounds like this getting some. We're getting a little
you
personal
really dug
here.
into the writers. Yeah.
It reminded me. It reminded me of like Harry Potter, and J.K. Rowling wrote the girls in Harry's school. A lot of them were just complete bitches, and it wasn't because it was good storytelling. It was because J.K. Rowling had obviously dealt with some horrible bitchy girls when she was at school, and she wanted to vent about it. So that's my review of Hootie's Moving Castle.
Makes sense.
I hate that I agree with you, but I still love it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that episode like had some humor and imagination to it that like still it's not really close to my favorites like at all, but
No, it's just middle of the road for me.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I agree with everything Tipsy said, but I think like the ideas behind the episode at least hold up for me. Like I like the idea of like a moonlight conjuring. I think that's cool. I liked the big old house and seeing the night market and all that, and King in that sailor outfit. It was really cute. Yeah, I think it was pretty objectively like not great because of what you said, but also like I think it was funny enough and it had some cool ideas, so I don't mind it.
I just want to elaborate on mine. I said my runner-up was the body swap one, and kind of just because like I'm realizing now like maybe I think that episode like tries too hard to be funny or something. Like
Yeah, it wasn't
it's
that
just-
funny.
Yeah.
I have
it's
that
like
as
just
my runner-up, too.
explicitly comedy the whole time, but it's not the best comedy that the show has had.
Exactly.
It's the kind of episode where it's like we know what the lesson's gonna be, and it's so frustrating watching them get there, because oh yeah, empathy is a thing. Like amazing. Oh, it's just such a bad episode, and whew, the situations they were put in, I feel like if they really wanted it to be better, could have been better situations.
I was glad they didn't hang around on the empathy point. They were like, oh, everybody's learned a valuable lesson, and they went, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And then Ida went, okay, let's go home. Body swap time, everyone else, bye.
They showed Ida's very OP spell where she body swapped like the entire market just to get away. I'm like, oh my god.
Man. Remember Ida when she was powerful? No!
No!
Spoilers.
Talking of
I'm
Ida,
you of course you'll have a spoiler warning on this
Yeah, I know.
video. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. Do I have to be careful here?
Speaking of Ida.
Hang on. We have to officially say that the winner of the winner of least favorite episode is First Day. Yay!
Yay, First Day sucks!
First Day sucks.
it should just be like the really sad Titanic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they get
music.
happy music. I thought it would just be like a fart sound or something.
Listen, I only have happy music. Hang on. Let me go. I'll find one.
Search funny fart sound on YouTube.
No!
I think we can move
Here we
on
go.
now. Oh. Ooh.
Whoa, that's emo.
There we go. That's what they
Okay,
get.
that was really sad. Okay.
All right.
You guys asked for it. Speaking of Ida,
Speaking of Ida, the favorite
Yeah.
character award.
Dom, we're not on least favorite character yet.
Ooh.
I will fucking kill you.
Oh,
You say that to my face?
So personally, my favorite character is Ida. Who agrees?
Me! Ida.
She's my
Ida.
runner-up.
She's my runner-up as well.
No!
This is main character specifically.
Yeah, favorite main character for this category.
Yes.
I think it says a lot about the show that I had such a hard time choosing my favorite because there's a lot of like main. I like a lot of them. So, I personally have Amity as my favorite because I love her.
I do too.
Yeah. I think she was written, other than the Bosch episode, where like again I'll excuse it because I'm waiting to see how they write her after that. But like I think her whole arc was interesting and well paced, and I love her characters. So why Ida though, Dom? Tell us.
Because I love her and she's my wife.
That's it.
No! Oh my god! I'm gonna try to talk about her without letting my bias, like, push through of me just, like, loving her. Okay, Ida, good character. She's, like, an amazing mix of, like, snarky but also motherly with Luz, and she has the best jokes in the series.
I
And-
agree with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just every time she's on screen, the episode's automatically better. They use her well as a B plot, and they use her really well as an A plot. She's just great, and I love her. And she's beautiful, and she's my wife.
Yeah,
I
I
want
mean,
her to
like,
hold me.
basically, I just think like the show's better when she's on screen.
She's a wild witch and she's just
Yeah.
like a mess as well. So
She's always
she,
fun to watch. She's funny. You know, I love how at the beginning of the series she kind of like doesn't like to think of herself like she's like, you know, parenting, gross. But then as a
Yeah.
you know, at the end she's like, wait, those are my kids.
That's my favorite trope. Characters who say they're not paternal or maternal,
found
and
family.
then they are.
Yeah? You
Found
were talking about
family.
episode 1 and you were fangirling about found family for 10 minutes. So
Yeah, and then all the way down to Agony of a Witch when she said like I didn't have a reason to do what I'm doing until like Luz showed up. Like it went that far.
Yeah.
I love
feel
her,
like too. She doesn't have a lot of explicit moments where it's like, oh, she's like the episode ends with her like snuggling like next to Luz, like, oh, good night, sweetie. Like there's nothing like that. It feels really natural the way she becomes parental.
I don't think I have like a single complaint about her as a character like at all. Like at any point in the show, she's just always so fun to see, and all her pranks on the school and how cute she was when she was younger, and this whole history. And just all the mystery behind her. Wow, I'm like about to change my favorite character too. No, I'm not. Just the characters, all the main characters for me were so close. So I'm like trying to justify why I didn't have Ida, but like, you know, I would easily replace her with Amity with like 1%.
Did anyone have a number one character, main character who isn't Ida or Amity?
you lose.
Ta-da.
Luz was gonna be my runner-up, but I changed it.
Why do you sound so disappointed by that, Nick?
No, it's just a twist. It's just a twist that you have a different one. It's a twist sound. Ta-da.
Okay.
What do you like about Luz?
Well, she's just she's not only adorable and quirky and funny. We follow her through every single episode. We follow her through her abnormal learning of magic, and she's just so funny all the time that she makes every episode better. So that's why I like episodes that focus on her a bit less, because they usually have less Luz. And I just think she's such a good protagonist. She's like one of my favourite protagonists now. So she gets the high score for me because I like Luz in basically every episode she's in, and the only times I'm disappointed is usually about other characters.
Yeah, she's consistently like a good character, and her character is consistent. Like, I like that about her. She was gonna be my runner-up.
She's my runner-up. I adore her, and I think like the whole like undying optimist type of character always makes me smile, kind of. And just like I said about Ida, when you're all goofy all the time and then you have a serious moment, it hits harder. So like seeing Luce at the end, like being genuinely angry and like focused, it was like, God, she's awesome.
Yes, she's so cool.
You guys are in love with Amity and you chose her as your favourite, and I'm in love with Luce for the same reason, the same dynamic. She's just so funny when she's around Amity, it makes me die on the floor of laughter.
Yeah.
Amity is my runner-up. I haven't mentioned that yet.
Okay, have you guys explained why you like Amity, Chan or Nick?
I did, yeah.
I mean, I do basically for the
think I
same
blacked out.
reason as Chan. Like, we talked about Ida so much, now I'm realizing, like, I love her a lot.
Sorry, continue.
Amity is, the progression of her story is what I prefer over Ida, I guess. Because Ida's hilarious and very imaginative. And I was going to mention this when we were talking about her, that, like, I bring this up a lot, but Ida is kind of that kind of same archetype as Grunkle Stan. But, like, you know, they, on, like, a base level, it's like, oh, she's, like, the crazy grandparents going to take care of the kid. But she's, like, totally different. And I appreciate that they didn't copy and paste from Gravity Falls like they usually do. But, yeah, Amity's very funny.
I think she's
I like
more
her story.
chaotic, and that's insane.
And I want to know more about Amity's family and stuff. Like, I hope that's what we get next. But I guess Ida's our winner, right? Because she was the runner-up for multiple people as well, and number one.
I want to talk about my runner-up. So, my runner-up, I wrote here, Lilith, before the last episode. Oh, man. I can't discredit how well they wrote Lilith every episode before that, because I think every time she was on screen, I was just so excited. I was so excited for her to be there. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna love this episode. And then they made her a dummy dum-dum in the last episode, so she's a runner-up.
Lilith, you stupid moron.
Again, if they just paced that whole arc better, the ideas were there. I hate when they have good ideas and don't quite utilize.
Follow through.
Yeah, it's just like, you can't just do a I always say 360. You just end up in the same place. You can't just do a 180 like that and just be like, yep, that's the plot.
We have a winner? Oh, wait, actually, no. I think the winner's tied between Ida or Amity. How are we choosing?
Yeah, but technically Ida, because she was runner-up as well for people.
Okay,
so
good.
I guess we'll
Good.
take
Yeah,
that
that's what
Ida
approach.
wins.
I love you, wife!
Okay.
What is that song? It sounds like it's literally from Owl House.
I don't know. I just looked up award music, royalty-free award music.
Perfect.
Before we get to our next category, we got another commercial break. Give it up for our sponsor.
God. No!
Nail baby? What's the sponsor? Like ALS Ice Bucket Challenge or something? Oh wait, that was gasoline. I saw the tab. Okay.
No!
Moving on.
All right.
This is just a scene from Bayonetta now.
Give me 1 second. Tito's crying downstairs.
Tito.
Oh, Tito!
Tito is a dog, not a baby, for anyone wondering. So he should not be crying.
What?
Wait,
Dogs
wait.
cry?
Wait, can we back up a second? Nick just had a baby get gasoline poured all over it, and then Tito started crying. Is that a coincidence?
No, he was crying
my
prior to the video
God.
playing.
Okay. I was like, what did you do? What curse have you unleashed? What did you Google for that, my dude?
I have a stock footage website. I just literally looked up weird. And
Call
that-
out post. We must make Crowned Cryptid expose his search history.
Then we could do a favorite Crown Search History Award.
Okay, least favorite character award.
No, it's favorite side character, not least favorite character.
Is it? Oh yes,
No,
that's
it's-
next. Okay, sorry about that. Favorite side character award.
Can I start by saying
Yeah.
I had trouble with this because I was like, who the heck counts as a side character? I guess. I don't know. Like, I get...
Well, like, the main characters had a specific list to choose from, right? So it's like any other character than those is a side character.
Yeah, and then I was like thinking like, which side characters stood out to me? Like, honestly, not that many of them, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
But I actually have Amity's siblings as my favorite side character.
Well, I have Amity's
That's a good
siblings as
choice.
mine
Yeah.
too.
Now, hold on.
I have
Do you-
Amity's siblings as well.
you wrote them both as one character? All of you did that?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I didn't know their names.
Yep. Was I
Did you
supposed?
write them as
I
two
could-
separate characters? And
That was the thing. I was like, I feel like it's okay to write the siblings because it's like they're kind of one unit in the show.
Yes, well, they've never appeared apart from each other
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah.
And
Oh
But
man, I
still.
hope in the next season they have an episode dedicated to being separated. I think that would
Yeah.
be a funny episode.
I had trouble with this though because I was like, in terms of side characters, like I don't know, I feel like Adventure Time probably did it better with like a lot more memorable like one-shot characters. With this one, I was like, who's a one-shot character or like a lesser character that really stood out? And it was like kind of only them for me.
There's no tree trunks in this series. The closest thing to tree trunks is Ida.
Because of her hair.
For me, I was gonna choose the twins. I don't know why I didn't. I think it's just because I liked other ones more, but they were very satisfying to watch every time they were on screen as well. So, especially, oh, what a good joke when they were like gonna say their wish on 3, 2, their
Their
greatest
fear,
fear
yeah.
on 3, 2, 1. I have something different for my winner and runner-up.
I know what they
So,
are.
Okay.
yeah.
You
Oh,
wanna
you know what they
talk
are?
about it?
Are you looking at my list?
No, I just know.
You want
your
Hootie
favorite?
to eat your firstborn?
Your favorite is Bat Queen.
How did you know? I love Bat
Because you made that
Queen.
noise every time she was on screen.
She's such a good, scary character, and like I appreciate the voice choice so much for her. She sounds so fucking cool, and her design is so cool, and the reveal that she's a talisman is so cool. I love her. I love her.
Yeah, she was like pretty
Alright.
much the only one I could think about when I was like side characters that stood out, like other than the ones I have here. But like, yeah, I almost picked her.
I like Bat Queen. Okay, who else has a different winner?
I feel like some of my answers are weird and like might go against the spirit of the question for some of these. My favorite side character I put down Kikimora.
She's my
that counts,
runner-up.
that counts. Really? I didn't even think of her.
Kikimora's my
I should
runner-up.
I know
Oh.
she's barely appeared. She was basically
Yeah.
only in Agony of a Witch, but like I just love her. She's very cute.
Yeah.
Oh, her.
And like
She's the
also
small
threatening.
girl. Oh, I love her. I love her so much. Again, amazing voice cast. And yes, Kikimora is my runner-up. Why is she your fave?
Well, we don't know a lot about her, so basically what I just said, like, I love her character design and voice. Like, she's cute and also threatening.
Yes. Okay. I was wondering if there's more, but yes, I agree. Same reason.
For my runner-up, I had that one girl in the sports episode who complimented Willow's Grudgeby skills.
Oh.
Nice.
Aw, that's sweet.
I actually just changed my runner-up because I thought about side characters for a bit. I originally
What was
had
it before?
I originally had the Emperor because I was like, he's like
Yeah, he's cool.
he's cool, and I really want to know more about him. Like in terms of side characters, I'm like, he's cool. I want to know more about him. But then I was like, we haven't seen much, and it wasn't perfect. And then I remembered that Owlbert probably counts as a side character.
Yes,
so I
he
switched
does.
to
Yeah,
Owlbert
you're right.
because
Albert's
Owlbert.
adorable.
Okay, first things first, I adore owls in general, like in real life. I think they're so cute, and like he is so adorable, and I love his cute little antics every time he's on screen, and I was like, oh my god, as soon as I remembered that he counted as a side character, I was just like, goodbye, Emperor. All hail Owlbert.
Alright, so I think the favorite side character is Hootie.
Yep.
For all of us.
I was
right?
about to
Interesting
say
that
that.
actually nobody wrote that.
I was actually about to say that because I was like, wait, Hootie probably counts. I might have put him, honestly. Hootie's funny.
I think theoretically he's a main character though.
We all forgot that Hootie exists.
Did we all talk about our, like, first favorite side character?
Yeah.
I didn't say my
wanna talk
runner
about
up
my
yet.
runner-up. Okay, you go first.
Okay.
My runner up was Principal Bump.
Oh.
Ooh.
Because
I'm wishy-washy with his
Yeah, same.
character.
I almost put
yeah,
him.
like at first in the first episode, like the first episode he appears in, which is like 3 or something, like he comes off kind of as a villain, and I was like, oh, he has like a cool voice and design to be like a villain. But then they kind of turn him into like a joke. But I think he's very funny. I think they get a lot of funny stuff out of him. And some weird niche thing that I've always been interested in is like using teachers in like comedy stuff, because they never really do that. So like I'm a big fan of the way they're writing him. I wish he could get a little more focused at some point, but as he is, I like him a lot.
I feel like I can think of like 15 shows that use teachers in comedy. Do you remember Miss Fowl from Jimmy Neutron, that abomination?
Oh god. She sounds like this, I think.
Yeah, but I mean with a little more depth to them though than that.
My gym partner's a monkey, you know? Keep going. I guess when you say a little more depth, that makes more sense, because I don't think they usually don't do that, so I'll give you that.
So I want to talk about my runner-up favorite side character, because before we decided that this category was specifically side characters, it was suggested that it could be background characters, which I think there is a difference. So I wrote down my favorite background character, and I don't know if that counts, but I do have one. My favorite background character is the girl at Hexside whose head is shaped like a crescent moon and she only has one eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like.
She's cute. She's cute.
So I don't know if she has a name. I tried to like look up an image of her and I couldn't find one. Like I couldn't find any list of like Hexside students or anything like that. Yeah, so if she counts, then she's my runner-up. But if not, I had a backup runner-up, which was Hootie.
Yeah. I almost regret not putting Hootie. I think Hootie's made me laugh like more than a lot of the characters.
Hootie's great.
I like that the show is called Owl House, and then like the basis of the Owl House is Hootie, but like Hootie's completely written off basically.
I think I literally like Hootie more than Amity's siblings. I might change mine.
You can.
I'm gonna change mine, and I'm gonna keep Albert and runner-up, and Amity's siblings are just not gonna be on the list. Okay, Hootie is my new one. I literally forgot about him.
Wow.
It's kind of
Hootie wins.
Does Hootie win?
Forever.
Well, does he actually win?
Hootie wins.
I was joking.
Hootie wins. Hootie wins the award.
No.
Yay! Hootie wins.
Yeah, Hootie.
Yay! Well, we all had different choices, right? There was no clear winner here. Yeah.
Well, there was two. There was two Hooties. Oh wait, no, yours was he was runner-up for you.
I didn't have him at all. No.
I thought Amity's siblings was the winner.
Well, Chan just changed his.
I think they're the real winner.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, Chan changed.
I changed mine, so.
But how many people are now liking Amity siblings? Oh no, we have two. We have Tipsy and Crowned. So.
Aw, sorry, Hootie.
Right.
Sorry, Hootie.
That's literally like a scene from the show. Like Hootie's like, I'm getting an award. I first like to win, and then just take it.
And then Ema and Edric show up and get the prize instead. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, moving on to our next commercial break. The Owl Home, coming soon to Nickelodeon. It's not related to the Owl House at all. It's a live-action show. It's about owls and wizards, not witches.
Royalty-free owl music.
Next is least favorite character. So this one's kind of unfair because I didn't specify side character or main character or whatever. So I guess I'd rather be main characters, but whatever we wrote, it's fine.
No, I feel like it should be any character. Why would it?
Yeah, you put any character.
Yeah.
So I don't hate any of the main characters. So if it had to be main character, I feel like I would have given a disingenuous answer.
Yeah, I like the any character. Anyway, what's your least favorite, Tulip?
Well, I struggled with this because, like, I just didn't remember a lot of the characters. I was, like, scrolling through the episode list and I was like, man, what happened to characters I don't like? I put down the like, old ladies who ran the, like, demon pet shop.
So
in
yeah, I
the
don't
episode.
like
That's a good choice, honestly.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's a smart choice.
I was trying to think, too. Like, I was like, who did I, like, just dislike on screen? That's a good one. I almost put that pig guy, whatever his name is.
I put Tibbles.
Yeah,
I fucking
Tibbles.
hate him. He's my
Really?
least favorite character.
Wow.
Nah, he's fine.
He's fine. But I didn't
like him.
I didn't know if, like, I don't know. I guess I was going more towards mainer characters, and I have Basha as my least favorite, honestly. Like,
I originally had Boscha as my runner-up, but then you mentioned the pet shop ladies, and I just thought, you know what, you're right, they're worse than Boscha.
The thing about Tibbles Grimhammer is that you're supposed to hate him. Like,
I know, but he doesn't do anything
I feel like
for me.
I feel like I hate him in the way the show wants me to, even though I don't love any of the episode he's in.
You can have
So
you
the
can have
reason
villains
why
that you
I
enjoy.
hate him is not just because, like, yes, they wrote him as hateable, but I just think he's not a good villain. He's just not, and I know that's the point, but come on. It's
Yeah,
so
like
frustrating.
you can write a villain to be like, oh, I hate you, and also I love watching you on screen. Every time he's on screen, I'm just like, shut up. I don't like
Yeah.
this. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
There's a worse villain though.
Yeah?
Who?
Matt O'Neill from the episode
Oh,
with Gus.
Yeah, he was my runner-up.
Wait, I would have totally picked him.
Oh,
I forgot
gross.
about him.
I'm putting
He's
him in my
definitely
runner-up
my-
now. Gross.
He's definitely my least favourite character, and the Pet Shop Lady's in my runner-up now, but they're nowhere close to Matt O'Neill. I fucking hate him.
Dude,
Oh.
I think I'm gonna replace Basha with him because I hated him more. I don't know why.
I'm putting him in my runner-up because I still
Right,
hate
and I was
Tibbles
thinking
more,
about
but-
that when I put him on my list. I was about the thing I just said about Tibbles. Like, obviously, you're supposed to hate him because he's like the villain. But like, I feel like I don't hate him in the way the show wants me to.
Yeah.
He's just annoying.
I'm gonna keep Basha because she's been in more episodes and I've more consistently not liked her. So
Bartholomew is like, oh, it's like cringe because they try to make us like empathize with him, you know, but
No,
no,
they don't.
no, they do.
Well,
Bartholomew's...
no, they don't. The thing is that they trick you into thinking that they're doing that, but then like it was
Yeah,
all
but
a
it
lie.
doesn't work at all. So
Well, it's not that it doesn't work; it's that it wasn't real. So, like,
yeah,
it's just
Yeah, he tricked him. Remember, he tricked him into thinking that he was doing it, acting out for attention, which he was. But then he tricked him into thinking he had a change of heart, and then he didn't. And then nobody forgave him in the end.
are you ready to hear
this
my
gross.
runner-up least favorite character award?
Who?
sure.
I have King as my runner-up
Oh
least
my
favorite.
God.
Oh, I do too. Thank
Oh
you
my
so
God!
much.
Oh my god. So before this, my runner-up said none. King's characterization, and then I changed it to Bartholomew.
So
explain,
Yeah.
Chan.
I only wrote this just so I had a talking point because I don't hate King. I think he's really funny and he's adorable. But in terms of a character that has most consistently frustrated me in the show, I have to give it to him. Like, that's why I put him under the least favorite character award. It's not him as a character. Like, I like him, but the fact that all of these...
The way they write him.
Yeah, the characterization, every time he, like, has a vulnerable moment, consistently I'm just groaning. And I'm like, I've groaned at King more than I've groaned at any other character in the show. And I want to love King so bad, and I only like him. And I'm like, dang it, make me love him.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense that King's episodes are also the lowest rated on IMDb as well.
Yeah, it's just like...
Aw.
I don't
It's so
I don't hate
sad.
him, but like his characterization is just really, really frustrating.
How do you have such a good, lovable character, but then consistently write them bad? Like, I don't get it.
It's because
They're so bad at
they're
writing
not
him
committing.
vulnerable.
They're not committing to like either side. They're like extreme. He's the ruler of demons. He doesn't care about anyone. And then he's just like, oh, hey, Luce, do you need a minute? I'm considering your feelings. Like, ugh. Just
He doesn't switch well between joke character and serious character.
yeah, like I
Yeah.
can't take it. I can't take
Unlike
it serious at
Ida,
all.
who's seamless.
Yeah,
And then we
that's-
have
Yeah.
King.
Yeah.
We have King who's like, wow, who are you right now?
And again-
who are you?
I think someone made the argument like, oh, you could say it is in character for him because he's done it so consistently, but I'm
Yeah.
like, none of the times he's done it has... Like, after all of those times, I'm still like, he wouldn't do that, so there's a problem there. Just, yeah,
We talked
so,
about that, yeah.
So I love King, but I do not like King.
Yeah.
Do we have any
we have,
kind of
like, a
consensus for this
consistent
one, or
winner?
Well,
like?
I didn't say mine yet.
Oh,
Ooh.
sorry.
Oh!
So I had a hard time with this
What's
one.
your least favorite character?
Like I was saying before, like maybe we should consider this only main characters because when I was thinking like the whole show, I was like, that's too much to think about. So I did
Cop-out.
kind of I went it down to main characters.
What? Hello?
Oh, he's
Hello?
dying.
I agree.
Hello?
He's dying.
I agree with
Hello?
He's dying.
Basha,
Wait,
though.
Nick.
Are you back?
Can you hear us?
Okay. Are you good? We can hear you
He's
now.
dying.
We can hear...
I'm back. My internet was dying.
We didn't hear anything. I only heard like Basha.
Yeah,
That's it.
I heard...
But she was strangling me while I was saying that she was my least favorite.
Oh my god.
Well, no, I would say she's my least favorite now that we brought her up because I completely forgot. But prior to that, I wrote Willow.
Ooh! She is my least favourite main character, apart from maybe Gus. I'm sort of 50-50 on which of them I don't like.
I think Gus is very funny, so I like him more. But I think Willow, like, she's cute, and then, like, that's kind of all I get from her. I feel like she has the memory episode, which I did kind of genuinely forget about because I made all my choices, like, 20 minutes ago. But I don't know. She kind of just is like a best friend character. Like, she doesn't stand out too much to me. Even though she has instances of standing out, they don't hit for me.
She's not even the best friend character. Amity at this stage is the best friend character. Willow is just somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
what's wrong
at this
with...
point,
I don't know. I think there's kind of a distinction between love interest and best friend character.
Okay, that's true, but I just feel like Willow
Even
and
if Luz
Luz's
doesn't
friendship has had no development
recognize it.
whatsoever. And Gus is there with Willow as well, so Willow being the friend character isn't even unique to her, and Gus has more unique characteristics, even if sometimes he can be a little bit aggravating. So Willow needs more to her, I agree with you, Nick.
I think I'm just hypnotized by her voice and her character design. They're so cute that I'm like, I like you.
yeah, I really like Willow, and I really see her potential, but you're right that they're not utilizing her well, and, yeah, she just...
Yes.
But I still love her.
But this is what I was kind of talking about using main characters, because you don't hate Willow, you just think she should be better, and it's true, she's kind of bland and, like, hasn't done much yet, but I don't think any of us really hate seeing her. Like, there are other characters who I dislike more than her, so...
It's what Tipsy always says, where, this show lacks the straight man character, and I really think Willow should have been that, but she's not all the time, so... For reference, straight man character means, like, they're the one, like, ending up, like, nagging and scolding others. Like, to be the person that controls the other people while the other people are doing crazy antics.
Yeah, or to
And
be
I really
the normal person compared to the, like, crazy
the normal
antics
person, exactly.
Like, Amity's the closest thing to that, but she's also, like, the rival character, so Willow would be good suited for that position too.
Yeah, but they
she just
rarely
doesn't
do it for
serve it.
her.
And my runner-ups, I said it's King with 2 question marks and Tibbles with 2 question marks.
Okay, I feel a little better about my choice.
Yeah. No, I had King before I changed it to Bartholomew. Like, I just wish they... Oh, he's consistently, like, badly written in emotional scenes, yeah.
I think we all had different answers for this one. I don't know if there was a...
Yeah.
Was there?
So
Okay.
Every time there's no winner, Hootie's the winner.
everybody
Oh,
would...
no.
Can't we say it's King if we had the most runner-ups on King?
Well,
we had
it's only 2
2,
people. I
I
don't
thought it was
have it
3.
as mine anymore.
I think it's Bartholomew is the undisputed one, even though he's a one-shot character.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah, I think... Okay, yeah, 3 people wrote Bartholomew, 2 as runner-ups, and 1 as winners. So I think he sucks
yeah.
the most. Yeah. Alright, Bartholomew.
Boo, Matt.
Bye, Hootie. You didn't win again.
You guys never let me win. Okay.
Oh, I'm excited to hear this one. This is a fun category.
Well, before we get to that, we got to get our commercial going. It's brought.
I forget every single time.
So, this one's brought to you by Alien Babies in a Jar. There's Alien Babies in a Jar. Go get one at Rite Aid or something.
How much?
Oh, man,
How much?
yeah.
Wait, I don't want one.
I'm interested.
How much?
It's a lot. You have to get one. If you're watching the stream, you have to get one. They're sending us some, actually.
No.
Do I have to take care of
They're
it, or
sponsors.
is-
They're sending us some. I have to
They're
unbox one in a
sponsors?
video. I have to make an unboxing video for one later.
An unboxing, ew. Can I just leave it in my room?
I mean, I guess. So do whatever you want with it. It's yours.
Yeah.
Like, is it self-sustainable in that tube is what I'm asking? Like,
Well, not necessarily, but you can leave it in your room anyway.
You'll have to sing to it every night.
Okay.
alright, no thanks. Anyway, moving on.
What's the next category? Favorite antagonist?
Oh no, hold on, Nick.
Oh,
you're-
Nick, you're
Uh-oh.
dying.
It appears I have vanished from the call.
I think I'll take this floor to say I often have nightmares that I have a baby, and I do not want one.
Oh, no.
Just very, very
Oh.
frequent. They're like, here's your baby, you have to take care of it forever, and I'm just like, no.
I just have nightmares that I'm back at school.
Oh, I have those all the time, too.
Oh, I'm living that nightmare.
Actually, last night I did. It's like always like I have to do homework, and then I can't do it. Anyway, is Nick back?
I'm back now.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
What's the next?
Next one's most disconnects award.
Favorite antagonist.
Favorite Hootie Moment Award.
Yay!
That's a good award. I could start with Antagonist if Nick is still here. Yes?
I'm here. Go.
Okay.
I was trying to figure this one out because I was thinking about all the monsters, and I was like, I kind of want to say the Basilisk because I liked her design and her, her powers or whatever, but then I was like, they didn't utilize her well at all. And then it clicked. I was like, oh my god, the scary library bunny. By far.
That's the exact
Oh,
same thing that
yeah.
happened to me.
By far the coolest monster, like, in terms of execution, creepy factor, and just, oh my god, it was so cool.
Oh man, that was really good.
The rhymes. Oh my god.
I don't even remember his name, but, like, yeah.
Yeah,
like
I put Bunny Monster.
Yeah, just, like, sewing people into books because he wanted them to be your friend forever. It's like, oh my god, it was so good.
So fucking cool. Oh.
At first, I thought it was insidious we weren't allowed to choose Emperor or Lilith, but then I realised that I wouldn't have chosen them anyway because I didn't think they were very good. So I chose the Bat Queen.
She's cool. I love her.
She's an antagonist. She
Yeah,
was
she
an
is.
antagonist in one episode.
Yeah, I love her. Oh, she was so good.
Yeah,
She
the
was so
Bat
good.
Queen is my runner-up favorite villain. Although I might change it to that bunny thing, so that was really good.
Yeah, the bunny thing's really cool. For me, the Basilisk is my runner-up because, like, no matter how underutilized they were, I just thought they were so cool. They
Yeah.
were so cool. Really nice.
I also felt kind of conflicted about choosing the Bat Queen as my runner-up because, as a villain specifically, we kind of thought that she wasn't very good because all she did was like say do my chores. But
Yeah.
like, it was like it was still really cool to see her appear a second time after we didn't expect to see her again after her one first appearance. It's like, oh, this is a character and she has a backstory.
Yeah.
It was great.
You just made me change my runner-up, Dom. Because
The Basilisk?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I feel like I shouldn't put her because I didn't like the episode, but, like, I like the monster, so...
The monster's cool. Oh, what a cool monster.
Because as my runner-up, I originally had Grom, but, like, I didn't... Like, Grom was kind of cool, but Grom was basically just it.
Now, Grom
even think of
itself
that.
was barely in a thing.
Yeah.
Grom's a Bogart from Harry Potter, that's what he is.
Grom is
So-
literally just it. The clown, whatever. It turns into your
Yeah.
worst fear, and then it, like, didn't really, like... It's, like, turns into your worst fear, and then it was almost jokey, like, haha, it really is cats with heads and stuff. It's just...
Yeah.
That was a great joke, though.
It was a good joke. It was funny.
My number one favorite antagonist that I wrote down was the Owl Beast Ida.
Oh, I didn't know I was allowed
That's
to do
my
that.
that's a runner-up for
That's
me.
cheating!
I had
Yeah.
like 3 runner-ups because like this was hard.
I didn't know I was allowed to do that. I thought about it. Just...
Okay, so I'm changing mine. Mine is no longer Bat Queen, it's Owl.
It literally
Ida,
says in
because
the
apparently we can choose her.
It says a 1-episode appearance monster villain as, like, the category requirement.
I
One
counted.
episode?
I counted because, like, in her introduction, like, episode, that was really good as a monster. Like, that was the monster.
Yeah, and I wrote down Owl Beast Ida in episode 4 of The Intruder specifically.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
if she-
like,
Oh,
If she counts, then she's my runner-up for sure. Like,
oh
I guess,
no, I have
like
to change
Nick,
it too.
like you're the boss here. Like, is that cool within the rules?
She counts. She counts. Yes.
She
Nice.
counts.
She counts because
goodbye,
I wrote her
Basilisk.
too. She's a runner-up for me too.
Owl Beast. Goodbye, Basilisk. You're
Yeah,
cool, but
same.
Ida's my
Yeah.
love.
My original runner-up before it was Bat Queen, now that she's been usurped by Ida, my runner-up was going to be the child from the episode where King was at the playground.
Oh, what a
usurper.
good,
That's a
what
good pick.
antagonist. Yeah. Oh, the fact that he was evil this whole time. Mwah, delicious. That was good.
He's a toddler. What were you expecting?
So for my I had a hard time with this one because there's so many good ones. What I said as my winner is Antagonist / the puppet monster thing.
Oh.
I think conceptually that one's so cool, but now that we brought up whichever one that we just brought up that I thought was cool, the bunny, now that that's from my favorite episode too. It's like
Yeah.
that should technically be my favorite, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the puppet one's cool. I also said the detention hole with all the teeth and
I
stuff,
thought about
You're
that.
a fan of the
yeah.
detention.
and the
I can't
magic
believe-
eating
okay.
inspector.
He wants to go to the detention track, guys.
Yeah.
That's what Nick's trying to say.
That's where you'll all end up if you keep looking at each other's award pages.
I have not looked.
I didn't look
I
at
have not looked at all.
Whoops.
Yeah, I've been good.
Nick, what's wrong with you? You're like, I'm gonna put cute art on all of them, but you can only see it if you click on it. Is like that bait or something?
Because no, so afterwards you look at it. But no, I really don't care. I would just.
So who's the winner? I think was it Ida Owl Beast?
A lot
Yeah.
of the Owl Beast is in the runner-up, but
Yeah. Wait.
yes.
What about the bunny? There's only
The-
a
oh
bunny.
yeah. So are we taking like 5 or 4 Idas as runner-up, or are we taking 2 winners for Bunny?
Well, I chose Ida as my winner, so
Oh,
All right.
I guess it's Ida.
Ida wins.
Yay!
Yeah.
Did you guys realize that his commercials are increasingly getting weirder and weirder?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous, but it's fine.
I don't know. That last one seems fine to me.
The babies in the
The alien baby jar.
yeah.
Alright, what weird concoction do you have?
All right. Let's see the commercial.
All right. Before we get to our next category, we got a commercial where this is brought to you by this old guy staring at a green picture. I don't know why he's doing that, but he paid me to show this footage. So there you go.
That's a good one.
I'd like to buy 50.
We can put whatever we want on that picture.
Yeah.
No,
We can
no.
put-
He specifically said it's a green picture. He said it's not green
Damn it.
screen. That's
Dang
just
it.
what he's looking
It's like
at.
you could have made this the thumbnail.
This is like high art or something. I don't really know. Favorite location award.
the library.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I had trouble with this one because I don't think we went we didn't go that many places.
Yeah, I
I
had
know.
a little bit of trouble with this one, but when I chose my answer, it was pretty easy. And I feel like this might be weird as a location, but I said Willow's Mind.
Oh, I almost picked
Oh,
that.
that's really
good.
smart.
That's good.
I didn't think of that. For me, mine is the knee.
Yeah, I have that as well.
That's
yeah.
my runner-up.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
giant.
That's my runner-up.
Like the giant's knee was just really, really pretty. I mean, this isn't really the location. I guess it counts towards the location, but I liked all their outfits. It was really cute, and it was nice
Yes.
to. I guess it stood out because it was like the furthest reaches of where we kind of went in season 1. But like, I just love like just everything about it. Honestly, it was really cool.
My favorite was the Emperor's Castle from the season finales.
Oh, that's my
That
runner-up.
one was good.
Specifically,
Emperor-
the pretty stained glass area. That room, for me, that's my runner-up. Oh.
You mean that one room that was shown at the start of Agony of a Witch?
Yes, the pretty stained glass room. Oh my god.
Yeah, I almost put
Amazing.
that as my runner-up too, but I was just like, we haven't seen enough of it. I guess I don't know. It was cool. I actually have Hexside as my runner-up because like in
Me too.
Oh.
I have
terms of, like-
knee/Hexside as my runner-up.
Yeah, in terms of like how much I was interested in it this season, I wanted to know more about Hexside, and I thought it was really creative space when they
Yeah,
used
it
it.
is.
You
Just
know
like
what
you-
would have won if they didn't retcon it?
What?
The door room.
Oh yeah, the door room.
Yeah.
That counts as part of Hexside.
I was gonna wait a bit to say, but Secret Room of Shortcuts is my runner-up location. I liked it a lot.
Okay, it is.
Ooh.
Alright. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's a cool location, but it's sort of wrapped up in a bunch of salt, so I
Yeah.
didn't consider it.
I mean, that was one of the things that's kind of saved that episode for me.
Yeah.
Because it had a lot of low moments, but also a lot of high moments, which, like, this really cool room. And I like how it works, and, like, I hope we see it again. And Ida created it, which is awesome.
How about you, Tipsy? What are your favorite? What's your runner-up? I'm not sure if I heard it.
So my runner-up was the knee, like you.
Yay!
And my favourite was the library, just because it was filled up with so many goodies and secrets, especially later on in the episode when they went there at night and all of the books came to life. It was just magnificent. I wanted to freeze every screenshot to see what was going on. That's why it's my favourite.
Oh, especially that scene where the shooting star is like on the window of the library. That was really pretty. Oh, that was such a cool animation.
I guess the knee's the winner then?
Yeah, the
Sounds
knee
like
wins
it.
because 2 people chose it as their favourite and 2
Yay!
people chose it as a runner-up.
Neat, neat,
Yay.
neat.
Did no one else choose Willow's Mind? Is there, like...
No, I didn't even consider it, but you're like,
Yeah, you're really like. I think that's good. I still won't put it because I still like the 2 areas I put more. But
Okay.
Willow's Mind is like a third. Such a cool area.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and also, like, I just love how it functions with the Super Mario 64 paintings into different memories.
Yes. Hootie!
Yay.
Yay! Hootie wins this
I
time,
almost chose the Owl
doesn't it?
House.
Is that a pity award that you'd have given him?
Yes.
I'm excited for this category.
I love that we call it Hootie Awards when the plaque itself is king.
I think that's
It's just another jab to Hootie.
Do you guys mind if I name the covens before we do this next category?
Sure, but don't we have something we should do first?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
no.
you see, you're all disappointed, but you're not ready for this one.
Oh no.
We are sponsored by the Penguin Aquarium.
Oh.
Go buy tickets, buy a couple hundred
I'll buy
tickets, and
anything.
go see the penguins.
The Penguin House on Disney Channel.
Thank you.
Well, we were
Oh.
so worried, Nick. We really thought your commercials would get weirder and weirder, but here
Are the
you
penguins going to eat each other as soon as you finish that clip?
Oh.
I cannot specify what the penguins do at the Penguin Place. You just have to go and see for yourself. Buy tickets today.
I will. I will.
I love
All right.
them.
All right, favorite coven category.
The main covens, some of them surprised me because I was like, wait, were these ever listed? So we have Abomination, Bard. I was like, Bard? What the heck?
Yeah.
I want to know more about Bard.
Beastkeeping, Construction, Healing, Illusions, Oracle, Plant, and Potions. So I was like, Bard? When did we ever, like, I guess it was just in the background?
I don't think we
Yeah.
have seen Bard at all yet.
Have we seen
Yeah,
have we seen a Bard student? Because we've seen the banners, at least.
So
Well,
Bard is color red, and remember when
Oh, that's what
Luz
it is. I
kept
was wondering
trying,
what.
yeah.
Oh,
Remember
apparently-
when Luz kept trying like the different lessons from other covens? She never did anything Bard related. I want to know more about Bard.
But you know the photos of young Ida that were shown in some of the
Yeah.
episodes. There was
Yeah.
a photo of young Ida, young Lilith, and somebody from the Bard Coven hanging out with Ida, but their
Ah,
face
that's
was
true.
covered up.
Yeah, that
Apparently,
was red.
apparently Skara is in the Bard track as well, which is one of Bosch's friends.
Okay, sure.
I sort of feel like altogether we definitely don't see that much of like any of the covens release, but like I probably plant we see the most, but like this category just kind of exists as like a general like which one is conceptually most interesting.
I think it's like, which one would you want to be in if you went to the school,
Yeah.
is how I took it.
Yeah, well,
Plant Coven, because they're like earthbenders. That's the Plant Coven. You can take over the world with plants. That's the most powerful thing.
Oh, that's not how I did it.
I have Illusions as my
Because-
favorite, actually.
I have Illusions as my favorite.
I
Illusion's
was
my
thinking of
runner-up.
it rather than like, first and second place winners. I was thinking of the two options being, if you could choose two tracks to be in, like those detention kids at the end of that episode. So like, I don't know.
Ooh,
I
that's
I chose Oracle and Healing, neither
that's
of which
cool.
we've seen a lot of, and I'm just really
Oracle's
curious about
cool.
what they're both like.
Yeah. I want to merge Illusionist with Bard, even though I don't know anything about Bard, but guys, my winner is Bad Girl Coven.
Oh, you sneaky! That is so sneaky. Fuck you.
Yeah! Bad Girl Coven, baby!
Dude, Tulip,
Well, that
the-
wins the award.
The idea of Oracle and Healing together is like genius. You'd be the best doctor ever because you could just see into the future
Yeah.
or whatever and see
Yeah.
what they have and then heal it. I have I actually had Oracle as mine at my top and Abominations as my second, but then I bumped Abominations down and I put Illusions on my top and Oracle as my runner-up. We don't know much
For
about
me-
Oracle, but it's really fast. There was that one scene in First Day where the Oracle student was fighting Willow, and the Oracle student like summoned like this giant ghost, and I was like, ooh, it's like paranormal control kind of. So it's awesome.
For me, I put Illusionist as runner-up because honestly, when I heard the Illusionist track, I'm like, okay, you can do illusions. It's more OP than I expected it would be. Illusion is a really
is
good
really
track. Like, it's very good.
It's
Come on,
Illusionist is really
Tipsy.
good, and Abomination is bad. Like, Amity is the most powerful member of the Abomination track, and the best thing she can do is when she's on steroids during that one arena battle, it turns into a Hulk. And it's still really nothing special. It's like, get better magic.
I put Abomination as my runner-up originally because I was like, the idea is cool that you could like summon like these grotesque creatures, but we haven't seen that they're anything other than goop monsters.
Yeah, I really want more scary like abominations, you know?
Did anyone pick Emperor's Coven?
No.
No.
No, I didn't even think of that. But,
Well, like, I don't
no.
even know what the Emperor's Coven is. Like,
have access
what
to
kind of magic
everything.
do they do?
They
I
have
like their outfits.
Emperor's Coven has access to everything, but they're like under
Yeah.
the will of the Emperor, essentially.
Yeah, I know, but
I like their
eh.
outfits. You're right. That'd be my aesthetic, so I'd go for that. But I don't want to be controlled by a freak. So
Well, you wouldn't know that if you were like in the actual world.
I guess, but he's pretty sketchy.
What did you put, Tipsy?
Oh, I chose. Well, Nick said everyone just say detention track, so I wrote down detention track.
Hey, somebody followed the script.
Jesus.
I actually like the plant coven. I actually like the plant coven most because
Yeah.
other than the bad girl coven, which is cheating by the way. I like.
You're just mad you
I
didn't
like
think of
the
it.
plant.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
mad that you're
Well-
not part of the bad girl coven.
Well, what's the point of asking the question if you can just respond with all of the covens at once? It's just so boring. So I like the plant coven because plants are really powerful, and Willow is like constantly OP, even more OP than Luz is, and Luz is pretty OP sometimes,
Yeah.
especially in that last episode. So there we go.
Willow's very
I have an
OP with
argument
her
in
plants.
favor of Bad Girl Coven, and that, like, I don't think the choice is, like, all the covens at once. The choice, like, you choose that so that you get to hang out with Ida.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly why I chose bad girl coven.
You get to join the bad girl coven, but you don't get to learn any magic. Do you do it?
Yeah,
Yes,
in this world,
if I'm with Ida, yes.
Dom is Ida's slave, like mining stink sacks on the beach. Like,
Yeah, I will. I will, and I will love it as long as I'm with Ida. Y'all are just mad that you can't hang out with Ida, but I can.
she'd go over to King and be like, "This new student's really listens really well, but she's weird."
Hey, that's a compliment. So, do we have like a consensus?
I don't
I
think
don't think
so.
so.
I don't know.
Oh, I guess
Hootie.
illusions. Illusions,
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, illusions.
I'll concede to that.
Which
yeah.
is kind of funny because illusions, like, I think we've seen the most out of illusions, out of like.
Yeah, probably
any other coven.
illusion and plant we definitely seen the most of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Because
of Dustin and
Amity's siblings were illusion too, right?
Yeah.
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 So we all get to hang out with them. But I just wanted to mention this kind of goes into the next category, but the fact that that Gus like gets so upset with his own illusions of himself every time he makes them, that's fantastic.
He threatens to kill them all the time. It's so funny.
All right, illusion Coven wins.
I wanted to choose Oracle and Healing, but now it's like you're my parents saying, like, oh no, you have to do illusion track.
Dude, if we were losing, I would just make more illusions to vote for illusion. So you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
I want to make an illusion of King, but well written. Next category.
Oh, we have a commercial.
Does the next category are we actually gonna talk about this one?
Yes.
I don't think.
The favorite
Oh,
commercial
I guess
category?
we will.
commercial.
Let's do it last. Let's do it last.
We'll do
Okay.
that. Okay, so
So
we'll do
let's do
favorite. Favorite joke next. But before
Mm-hmm.
that, Frankie's Frogs.
This is my
Come on
favorite.
down to Frankie's Frogs. We got frogs.
Oh.
That's it. That's all he told me. It's just like the penguin one, really, but I guess they have frogs instead.
These commercials are getting great. I don't know where you found these last couple sponsors, but I'm into it.
Favorite joke. This is like not. This isn't like a strong category because like there's just so many. It's just for us to talk about ones if we remember.
I
or
actually
anything.
have specific ones that I remember. So, do you guys have specific ones as well?
I didn't write anything down, but like, I could talk about some jokes if you want. But if you wrote them down, you should go first.
This is going to be one of those categories where I commit to my answer, and then the second someone else says theirs, I switch it to theirs because I forgot.
Well,
about
my favourite joke, because this one was quite fresh in my mind, is Hootie Murder from episode 18, Agony of a Witch.
Yes. Oh, he was so cool.
He just wrecks everyone after being the joke character for the entire season. It's absolutely perfect and I love it.
I have mine. As soon as I thought about it, I was like, yes, this one. It's a spider joke from Grom. When, like,
Oh, that was so good.
3 minutes later, the spider walks on Luce's face. She goes, "Wow!" and slaps herself into the mud. It's so funny. I love that joke. It's such like, oh my god.
Okay.
My two runner-ups are when Ida said, "These vegetables aren't gonna cook themselves yet."
I thought about that
thing
too.
with,
That's
like,
my
those several
runner-up
jokes in a row.
too.
Good.
Not fully. It's
It
one
was-
of my runner-ups.
It was so funny because that line, like, "these aren't gonna cook themselves," is like so common in media, and I've never heard like a yet thing. I don't know, it's just a little magic twist on it. It's so
Yeah,
funny.
see, this is why, like, I just, these are all great, I just didn't remember them. Like, the only jokes I can remember off the top of my head are, Ida's Bell performance.
Oh yeah.
That was such a good one.
Who what? Yeah, I don't remember that.
Her bell performance in Understanding Willow. Yeah.
When they're,
Oh!
yeah, they're trying to ring the
Like-
bell and she's in the middle of the performance.
God.
The one from, like, Willow's introductory episode where Lucy's pretending to be an abomination and Willow is like, "If Amity knew what we were doing," and then Amity just jumps on the table and she's like, "I know what you're doing!"
Wait, that reminded me of another joke from the episode when they said "abomination lie," and then Luce like said,
Yeah.
like whatever she said like something about like carbon or something. I don't know. She said
Yeah.
like two like fake facts. Oh, there's
Yeah.
so many good ones.
I
My other-
really like that one of her fears is like a cat with a human head that doesn't want to be that.
It's such a specific fear. My other runner-up, this one is more like a personal thing to me because I've experienced this so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's when Basha goes by and the grandma's like, "Why can't you be more like her?" And the kid like does like he does like a really deep inhale. I was like, I could tell that was like a writer like venting, and it was so relatable.
This probably isn't my favorite, but it's like the first one that came to my mind
Mm-hmm.
was in the carnival episode that nobody liked. They have like a dunk tank for like a skeleton, and then he falls in and he comes out with
Oh, and
skin
then
and
he
he's
got
screaming
flesh.
in agony.
That made me uncomfortable.
That was
so
a
funny
good
to me.
joke. That was good.
It's like when the lich got splashed. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So for me, my winner is in the convention episode. Like every time Ida would like do a crime and Luz would be like, "What the fuck, Ida?" She'd just like give a thumbs up with a happy face, like, "Yeah, I put traps on the field." You like that? Every time she's like, "Yeah, that's my girl," and then it's cut to Luz like doing something stupid or doing something wrong.
I was watching Ida funny moments in preparation for this category when it turns out Lilith made Amity cheat without her knowing. Ida just like celebrated it and said, "Welcome to my level."
Yes.
Also,
Such
like
a
the
good-
entire first 5 minutes of Adventures in the Elements, like that entire episode, the first 5 minutes were
Yeah.
so funny. Just like Ida's like, "Here you go, kid, eat this snow."
And then shoves a
Yes.
bunch of snow into
Yeah.
Luz's face.
Yeah.
So, my runner-up is Braxis. That's
Oh, I
the
love
kid
him.
that sounds like a demon. Every time they talk, I laugh with no fail. I swear, every time.
I wanted to insert him into like one of my favourite character awards, so I was going to pick his favourite antagonist, and then
We're failing to mention, I forget what episode it was, but you guys all laughed at it when King was like talking to himself like, "She'll never find out," and then Luz was like 2 feet away from him.
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
I forgot about
I
that.
think he said close call. He said close call, and then Liz was like, "What?"
And he's like,
Nothing.
nothing.
And then she left, and he said close call.
Another one of my runner-ups that we did mention a while ago is Gus, like, threatening his
Yeah.
illusion, like, to kill him. I laughed so hard at that.
Remember when Gus didn't know what a montage was, and so they explained it?
Oh, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
a good montage.
Montage?
They did a montage to explain montages. It was so cute.
That
That episode was funny.
My runner-up is from, I think it's that episode as well. It's Amity's like really gay moment at the end when Luz picked her up and she just broke down and said, "Wow,
Wow.
sports."
Sports.
Yeah.
That was good. That was gay.
I was like, that's like my favourite gay moment in cartoons now.
There's so many good jokes. There was this one episode where it's like gut busting, right?
I'm pretty sure it's Adventures in the Elements when I said like the first 5 minutes of that was like a non-stop joke after
Yeah,
joke.
it
And they were all
was, and then
perfect.
like I was like begging, like please, I can't breathe, no more jokes.
Like, so this one was just a having fun category. I don't think we have
Yeah.
a consensus winner,
Yeah.
which is fair because that means that it's Hootie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay! You finally have an award.
Speech.
Speech.
I've been preparing a speech for the last 10 years.
It all started when I was born.
You guys should do voice acting for Hootie now in season 3.
I used to only be 10 yards long.
Oh no. It's good.
Are we done, or are we doing the other
No, we
one?
got one more.
We got favorite commercial, which is like an in-joke thing that I guess we'll still talk about. For context for the video, we watched this on
Legally.
my cable
Legally.
service. So we had a few commercial breaks, and they were horrible. And now we will
My
talk
favorite
about them.
commercial, this one had like the most character development and like theories behind it, in my opinion, which was the one with the like adopt a dog, and there was like a single frame where the dog had like a tear on its face. It was like never mentioned, and I was like, wait, go back. What was that? It just had like a tear, and I was like, what is going on? And I like stayed up at night like, why was that dog crying?
Why was he sad?
So that was my favorite commercial. For my runner-up, I just wrote no in lowercase letters.
Like, I wrote down, like, my favorite one was, like, that time that they showed us an ad for the Owl House while we were watching the Owl House.
And you were like, wow, what show is that?
My actual runner-up is the fishing one, because the whole time we were trying to figure out what it was supposed to be a commercial for. It was just a bunch of people fishing, and then the end of the ad, it was like, go fish. And I'm like, it was about fishing. A word from our sponsors.
That was my runner-up as well.
My favourite was Babies That Really Cry.
No, that's horrifying. They look like
Is that the one where they
Simpsons.
turn yellow?
Yeah, they look
Yeah,
like
that's the one.
Simpsons.
Why would you
They
pick
look
that?
awful because it was so terrible.
No,
I
that's...
had to choose it. And my second favourite was the really emotional looking one with a kid learning to ride a bike, and he rides towards his mother, and then his
Who's
mother
holding
shows him
McDonald's.
a box
Dude,
of McDonald's, and he
don't-
That
rides
was my
faster.
favorite one.
Don't even get me started on those. Like, all those companies, it's like Toyota, like a car commercial, it's like, my Toyota brings my grandfather to get his cancer treatment. I'm like, this isn't about a car. You're just making us feel bad for this guy with cancer, and then being like, Toyota, it is a car. It's the same thing with McDonald's, where it's like, look at this cute moment. Like, it's so frustrating, and I'm just like, I hate you. I'm not gonna go buy a Toyota because an old guy has cancer. I'm sorry.
I remember, like, it was a Super Bowl one time for, like, beer. It was about a horse or something. Like, everybody was talking about it. Like, it's about a horse. It's not beer.
My runner-up was the, like, Baby Bell cheese ad that was, like,
Oh,
like a fake
oh,
I
that's a
completely
good one.
forgot about that.
I don't remember this one.
Remember, it had such high production value, and we were like, is this about cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a movie trailer. It was amazing.
Like, they did not have to do that, but they just were like, you know what kind of budget? We're gonna spend like $3 million on this. Just for no reason.
It had some interesting shots to look at and then forget about a second later when the episode started.
For me, my winner is Frankie's Frogs, and it's
What?
the frog that Crown just put a while
Does
ago.
that count as a commercial? We're not talking about those. If we're talking about those,
know.
I would say
The
the
reason-
penguin.
The reason why is because I put here like, bruh, I forgot all of this. I deleted all of this from my mind. And then I was like, oh, I need to put something. I'm gonna go
God, I
put
wish
Crown's
that were me.
commercials because I didn't think he'd do that. And then my runner-up says, the most terrible one, the stop-motion dolls. I hated that so much.
My
Wait,
least
what's that one?
It was like the dollhouse one, and the
Yeah,
they had
and then
Is
stuff.
that
like,
the LOL
like she's
owns you
dumping her
surprise
into
one?
a bathtub or something, and then they change color.
Oh,
I think it's so funny that all these commercials, like, most of them are like, oh, we need to sing, because that's what you do in commercials, and they don't think of an
Yeah.
interesting harmony, they just talk sing for like 45
Yeah.
seconds. So, like, buy a
That's
doll, you
terrible.
have a house, and you can go in the room, and it's like, they just keep going. Like, okay.
colour change bath.
I thought the color change one was a separate thing.
No, that was the
Oh,
same
you're
doll.
thinking of the hair one. It's the same doll's house.
No,
You
the
could put- they had,
real...
like,
Yeah, the crying one was
Yeah.
the color change one because the tears was just, like, it just made it look like tears by changing the colors.
Oh
in the
no,
face.
there was a color change doll where if you like her outfit changes colors if you dump her in a bath.
I remember you saying
Yeah,
that
if you
that
dump
never
her in an
works,
ice cold
so I
bath.
believe you.
I love how this is supposed to be fast food, but how this is supposed to be royalty food, but that's obviously McDonald's and that's obviously Coke. So Nick, you're getting sued.
I wouldn't
You
say it's
can't-
obviously Coke.
There's no
that
logo.
Could be, oh no, that's definitely
There's
Coke.
no
That
logo.
is-
No logo.
It's Pepsi. It's definitely Pepsi.
It could
blue.
be it could be like iced tea.
No.
I don't know. Is there
It
fizz
has
in it? I'm not
bubbles.
close enough.
Yeah,
Okay, never
there
mind.
is fizz.
I'm violently pacing. I can't see. Anyway,
You okay,
I think we're
Jen?
done. I think we've had a good time in the Owl House.
Yeah. Aw, that's so sweet.
That concludes the first ever Hootie Award.
Hootie Awards.
Yay!
do you want to do like lastly like our entire season 1 impressions, sort of? I guess.
Yeah, I guess I could read our whatever our average was. What was our average?
Sure, if you want. I mean, we've been talking for an hour and a half.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Are you getting the average? You said.
Somebody else get it.
Oh, average in total for all the episodes is 7.7. That's the entire season.
7.7.
That's fair.
7.7.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where the show goes, especially after Agony of a Witch. Like seeing like the bar that they can reach, and just like
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
like so many characters. So hopefully the hiatus doesn't last until 2025.
On the wiki, I saw that I forget which episode it was, but at some point the episodes in season 1 were being produced this year. So the next season's probably far away.
Are we stopping recording now?
Goodbye after.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed that unique take on a Rankings podcast. We had a ton of fun doing it. Please stay tuned to my channel Crown Cryptid or the audio-only podcast because we'll be covering every episode of the upcoming Owl House Season 2 as well. Hope you're excited. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to know when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, and super special thanks to my Patreon supporters. Support me on Patreon and you'll be able to submit video topics, see exclusive behind-the-scenes content, and help me keep this channel going. Also follow me on Twitter and TikTok for special updates.